Hello, my name is Dylan with the anime summary. Hajime and Yui both enter the 100th floor mystery door to see thousands of crystals on the sides of the room. While walking, he's amazed by the design of the room. They both question if the last door in the room is the lead into the Maverick's lair. Yui grabs his hand and starts making their way towards the door. A giant six-head Hydra monster, each with different colors, spawns in front of them, blocking the door. The monsters walk up closer to them to get a better look, then the red-headed Hydra uses a fireball but doesn't connect. The green-headed Hydra tries attacking. Yui dodges and uses a glacial sleet to slay the greenhead. The red and blue head attack Hajime, but he takes both of them out with his gun. Cockingly, they only notice the white and yellow heads of the Hydra monster left standing. The white head of the Hydra uses regeneration healing magic to heal the other heads of the Hydra that were hurt. Hajime tries aiming for the white-headed Hydra first, but the others get in the way of his shots, distracting him. They use their elemental abilities to try and stop him, but Hajime uses quick dodge to evade the attack. In the sky, Yui and Hajime aim their guns and magic at the white-headed Hydra, but the yellow-headed Hydra steps in the front, sacrificing himself and letting the white-headed Hydra re-heal him. Hajime realizes that one is defending, attacking, and healing simultaneously. Yui tries using a Imperial cannon but gets snuck up on from behind and knocked out of the sky. When landing, the Black Hydra stares at Yui, trapping her in the illusion of nightmares, being locked up back in the labyrinth and Hajime leaving her. Yui paralyzed on the ground in fear. Just when the black-headed Hydra is about to eat Yui, Hajime blasts the monster away from her and grabs Yui. From behind a crystal, he throws a flashbang fire grenade to slow down the Hydra monster. He tells her that they are going to kill the Hydra and survive, then going to the surface and going home together. The Hydra heads reach them, however Hajime shoots them away to stall for more time. He tells her that he's going to be using Schlagen to take out the monster and for her to cover him for the time being. She uses a wide range of attacks as Crimson Javelin, Force Slasher, and Glacial Sleet to buy time for Hajime. While he is shooting out the yellow head, the black head of the Hydra gets him with an illusion of nightmares but doesn't get fooled by it and shoots it away. He pulls out Schlagen and wants to take them all out at once. He fires the gun, evaporating the back half of the Hydra heads. Yui takes out the remaining front of the Hydra heads using Heavenly Blaze, defeating the Hydra monster. After defeating the Hydra monster, Yui is breathing heavily, exhausted from the battle. Hajime goes to check on her and a mysterious head from the Hydra appears from the smoke behind him. It aims at Yui first and Hajime steps in front of her to take the blast. After the blast, it is snowing in the room. Yui wakes up to see Hajime fall into the ground, bleeding out fast. Yui runs over and the last headed Hydra stares and is about to finish them both off. The Hydra head fires magic at them, but Yui blocks it using shield magic. In anger, the head fires consistently towards them, while Yui is carrying Hajime behind the transmute wall. Behind the wall, Yui tells Hajime that she will save him, grabbing his revolver and running out. She tries her best, firing shots, hitting the Hydra, but it's not enough and gets knocked out by magic onto the ground. On the ground, trying to grab the revolver, she notices Hajime is on the ground and got hit by the last attack from the Hydra. She cries, thinking that Hajime has passed away. The Hydra doesn't hesitate and charges his final shot to finish Yui off. Just before the blast, Hajime gets up and carries Yui out of the blast. Hajime tells her not to worry and starts running towards the monster. He tells her that the monster's attacks are slow, but Yui replies saying that he just got faster. Hajime tells her in order to win, she needs to suck his blood to get her magic to win. He distracts the Hydra using his guns and grenades, and Yui uses Azure Blaze to finish off the Hydra once and for good. Hajime falls to the ground a weekend after the battle. At the castle, Aiko Hatayama is having an argument with the pastor about him forcing students to fight even if they don't want to themselves. She blackmails him, saying that if it doesn't stop, that she will stop helping on the farms forever. He promises that the students that chose not to fight will not be forced to engage in combat. She excuses herself and walks away, apologizing to herself, thinking of the way Hajime died in the labyrinth. In the labyrinth, on the 60th floor, the group of students and Meld are together, wanting to explore deeper to where Hajime was last seen at the bridge. Later in the labyrinth, Hajime is laying in bed, confused about where he is at. Yui tells him that they are in the Maverick's lair. He demands to know what transpired after the fight. She tells him that once the door opened, she found the place where they are at right now, also saying that she used holy water and her powers to heal him. Hajime thanks her for the help. She found clothes and both put clothes on and get ready to search for clues in the last area. While walking through the Maverick's lair, they notice a pretty big house. Yui tells him that she looked through it and found a majority of the rooms to be locked. Hajime tells her to stay alert and they make their way towards the house. Towards the house, Hajime sees a relaxing hot spring with fresh water. He dips his hands for his pleasure and is excited about taking a bath since he hasn't done so in months. Yui suggests taking one bath together, but Hajime tells her off, saying that he would rather take a longer bath by himself. In the house, they are walking through and up a flight of stairs. On the second floor, Hajime tries using transmute to unlock some of the doors, but notices that most of them are sealed off. Yui recommends to take a look at the third floor, and Hajime agrees. Upon arriving on the third floor, they both notice only one room on the third floor. He walks into it for crystals to light up the area around him, and sees a strange skeleton sitting on a throne, assuming that it was waiting for someone to show up. Seeing the floor covered in markings, thinks that it's the key to going back up to the surface. He tells her that if it's a trap, to get him out of it, and proceeds to step on the markings. It traps him, and a holocron appears from the skeleton. In a panic seeing it, Hajime readies his hand to his revolver, staring at the projection. The holocron tells him that his name is Oscar Orcus, the man who built the labyrinth that they are in. He congratulates them on making their way to the lair, facing his trials and surviving. Oscar goes on to say that the term Maverick should be familiar to him and will have to hold off questions, apologizing. Since him talking is just a recording after all, he goes on to say that he wanted to leave a message for the person who made it to his lair, to explain the reasons why someone who knew the world chose to fight against it. In the middle of the labyrinth, the group has reached the 65th floor where Hajime fell on the bridge. Kouki tells everyone that they've already been down to the deepest floor anyone's been to. Shizuku says that she is worried about how things will turn out re-entering the 65th floor, but is proud and surprised on how everyone got really strong really fast. Mel tells everyone to focus now, saying that the map only shows a part of the 65th floor and no one will have any idea what will go down. They walk down the flight of stairs onto the bridge where they last saw Hajime. Mel orders everyone to stop where they are. On the other side of the bridge, the same trap from before happens again. The large behemoth monster spawns in front of them again. Mel draws his blade and states that nobody knows the respawn rate of the monsters here in the labyrinth, but also states that it is normal for some monsters to respawn after being defeated. He tells all the students that the monster is coming to secure an escape route just in case. The students are confident that they are going to defeat the behemoth. The beast roars in rage and anger, being ready to attack them ferociously. The fight starts with Kouki leading with a heavenly flash attack at the beast. He orders his fellow classmates to surround the behemoth diligently and for the magic users to prepare for a high-level attack. The skeleton army spawns under the beast and the behemoth charges quickly at them. Rotoru steps in front of his classmates and uses Herculean strength to stop the beast in its tracks. While holding him in place, Mel and Shizuku strike at the beast, breaking one of the ears. The beast, in a panic and in pain, shakes them away into the sky. Kaori uses Gentle Hollow to break the fall for them. While the knights take out the skeletons, the beast is immersing his ear with poisonous toxins. He leaps towards the group of people over Shizuku, with one of the students using barrier magic to block his fatal attack. The monster is slowly breaking in and falls backwards on his back to the ground. He is bombarded by fireballs from the sky, and Kouki uses Limit Break to slay the monster, and all the skeletons disappear. Everyone is in excitement after taking down the behemoth and celebrate joyfully. Back on the third floor, Oscar the Holocron goes on to say that he has no clue why or who came to the labyrinth, but wants to inform Hajime on something he knows. He tells Hajime that he will be getting his powers and instructs him how to use it as he sees fit, but begs him to not use it for evil. Oscar thanks him for his time and hopes that Hajime will be able to live on his own free will, and disappears. All of a sudden, Hajime is freaking out, having mind pains and someone imprinting something into him. He realizes that the evil gods or mavericks were actually liberators. Yui asks him what their next plan is, and Hajime states that he doesn't care about the world and is going home. He also tells her that he learned a new ancient magic called creation magic, which lets him add power to raw minerals and gives them special qualities, also saying that he can make artifacts now. After staying at the Maverick's lair for a while, at the house they are equipping themselves with new gear, vehicles, and eating one last meal before they set off on their journey home. At the teleporter, Hajime tells Yui that he's learned everything he can from the monster meat and is fully prepared for the outside world. He tells her that his weapons and powers aren't normal on the surface and might be a target by godly beings. Lastly, he tells her that he will protect her vice versa and activates the teleporter to the surface. Hajime and Yui arrive outside from the red teleporter. They are both ecstatic and relieved to be out of the labyrinth. Just when they are having a moment, are interrupted by Shia, a bunny girl running at them in tears of happiness. Hajime and Yui are already annoyed by her and start making their way away from her. She tells them to wait and not to go, falling into the ground upside down. While they are walking away, Shia grabs onto Hajime, pleading for him to save her family. Yui grabs her ears and tells her to get off Hajime. She tries persuading him with herself but doesn't care and starts to walk away even further from her. The giant two-headed dinosaur monster appears in their way and Hajime shoots at it, taking it out with ease. After begging repeatedly non-stop, Hajime and Yui hear out Shia's proposition about her village. While on the ground, Shia informs them that some beastmen can't manipulate mana, but she can. To top that off, she can also use specialized magic that only monsters should be able to use. She goes on to say that the magic is called Future Sight and lets her see all possible futures. She begs for him to save the hollow race from being wiped out. Hajime doesn't care and uses his ring to get ready to depart on his way back, but Yui suggests that they take Shia along to guide them through the sea of trees. While arriving at the village, Shia tells them that her fate has already been determined to eventually be slain by the other beastmen, but her father and the rest of the Hollow tribe left the village to protect Shia from danger. Hajime and the villagers are surrounded by beastmen that threaten them with their lives. He takes them all out safely and efficiently, saving the Rabbit Man people from the harm. Later the next morning at the village, Yui wants to take Shia along their journey home. Shia pleads with Hajime to take her along and doesn't have a problem with it and says that he is not going to catch any feelings towards her. Shia wonders if she works hard enough that she can change the future. Hajime tells her that it's going to be dangerous but brushes it off since she's a monster as well. He tries persuading her away from going on the journey to his town, but she doesn't care. He agrees to take her with him and they leave the tree and embark on their travels. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.